Good morning. Good morning. It's Tuesday. And yeah, you can see by the seatbelt that I am on my way to a client this morning. Yeah, friends don't let friends vlog and drive. I'm going to keep my eyes on the road. I'm not going to look at the camera too much. I don't think it's much any dangerous than talking on the phone and driving, as long as you pay attention to the road. Yeah, I'm headed up to a client this morning to install a credit card package I've been working tirelessly on for the last couple weeks. A credit card interface with their point of sale system and their retail store, a consumer store, actually a high-end like leisure store, and got me thinking of consumer and consumer mentality that we have in society, and yeah, just how everything we have is a consumer mentality. We are consumers as humans. We consume. And this video is going to be a little more on it's going to be on the Christian side. So if you get offended by people talking about Christian views, or you don't like it, just go ahead and press the X up there in the corner, or if it's your iPhone, double tap your home screen, just swipe up. Android, I don't know how you close down the app. I'm an iPhone person, have been for years. Actually, I just broke my screen, so I don't know if this video will come out or not. Just broke my screen, but luckily Apple was supposed to announce the new iPhone tomorrow. So hopefully that'll drive down the price of the iPhone 8 and the iPhone X, and I can get my screen fixed, sell my phone, and get me a new one. Yeah, it got me thinking the consumer mentality and how that has crept into our church, how it's crept into our worship services. And I've talked about this before, about how so many people, it seems, I don't know how many years, this is seems like it's been going on. People go to church, or they find a church that, they say, oh, I don't like that church, or I don't like this church, and they're picking their church kind of like they're picking their food, whatever's best pleasing to them. And that is the wrong way to approach church and approach worship service. We are to come together. We come together. It's a corporate worship. We don't come to what we can give. We come for that's what we come for. We come for what we can give, not what we can get. If you get something from a church service, from a worship service, that is a bonus. That's a byproduct of your worship, that you come to worship God. And thinking about the different reasons we come to church, we come together corporately to worship, every Sunday, or maybe your church does it on Sundays and midweek meetings, Wednesdays or Thursdays. We come, number one, to worship God, to come into His presence together as a group of believers. We also come to encourage one another, to help one another, and we also come to not really get instructed, to learn, I guess, but really just to help us to kind of recharge your batteries, to go out through the week to do what we're really all called to do, and that is in Matthew 28, to make disciples and baptize them and teach them everything Christ has commanded. That's what it tells us to do. And yes, I get that you do have to find your place. You should find a home church. You got to find the place where You need to find a place where you can best give your worship to. You got to find a place not where you can get the most out of it, but where you can give your best. So, that's just thoughts I had. Like I said, I've talked about this before, about how, so much we've taken a consumer approach to church. And that is the wrong emphasis when we come to church. That is not what we come to church for. Like I said, we come to church for what we can give, not what we can get. And if we do that, I think, and we do that, and we are going out, and we are actively trying to make disciples to spread the gospel. If you truly get the gospel, and you truly realize that you have been saved, you will naturally want to share that. I remember, Penn and Teller, the bigger guy. I remember watching a video of him, and he talked about how after one of his shows, this guy came up to him, and he just said he wanted to share something with him. He wanted to share the gospel message with him, and that guy, he is a outspoken atheist, or he used to be, but he said he really appreciated what that guy did, because he knew that guy truly believed in what he was sharing. And he said, he really appreciated that. And he said, and I remember these words, and they've always stuck with me. He said, how much, if you really believe that, and you're not sharing that with anybody, then how much do you have to hate somebody to not try and save them? Something like that. And that just really stuck with me, because if you are really actively doing that in your church, your local body's trying to do that, then as a natural byproduct, your church you will see church growth. And if you're not seeing church growth, if your church has kind of become ingrown and not really, I guess, growing, or there's not really any new people coming in, then I think you need to rethink church. You need to, I remember Francis Chan, he said something like, Christians are like manure. He said, when you get them all together in one place, they start to stink. But if you spread them around, then they will fertilize. They will start to bring new growth. And that is a true statement. That's one that's always stuck with me too. Sorry if you keep seeing these jump cuts. I keep pausing it because, of course, I am driving and I want to be safe. But I don't know. That's just thoughts, random thoughts I had. Headed up to a client this morning. It's a beautiful morning. It was kind of cold out this morning. I stayed up at my parents last night. They are out of town, and so yeah, I stayed up at their house, and they have an outside shower, and I took an outside shower this morning, and it felt so awesome. Took my coffee out there, turned on the hot water, and it was cold out. Oh, took my shower. You don't want to get out of the water because it's so warm. So I get out, I turn the water off. No towel. I totally forgot the towel. So I'm like running inside and trying to find a towel. Anyway, that's my crazy Tuesday morning. Driving up to a client. It's a beautiful day. Kind of feels like fall out. I'm sure it'll probably get hot again. I don't know. I think it's probably going to go from one extreme to the other. It's probably going to go from hot to cold. We're not going to have, I don't know, hope we have a good fall. We live, like I said, we live close to Brown County, and so we have all kinds of hills, and the leaves turn, and people come from all around to go down to Brown County. I remember Tracy used to drive my grandmother around for her appointments on Thursdays or Fridays, because Grandma couldn't see very well, and so she couldn't drive anymore. And Tracy used to drive her around, and every fall, even though we live where we live, you know, you can see the hills and the trees. She still had her drive her down to Brown County because, it's just, if you've never seen it, it's so awesome. Down there in Nashville, there's a pull-off on the way from Morgantown to Nashville. It's an overlook. It overlooks Bean Blossom. And they cleared all the trees out, so it's like a huge, big overlook. You almost feel like you're in the mountains. It's so cool. So, looking forward to that. I'd like to go out to Colorado again this fall break. I told the kids, go out and see my cousin Shane Cara, and I'd like to go see them, maybe stay for 3-4 days. I don't know if we drive or fly. I haven't drove out there for a long time. It takes about, 21, 22 hours, or at least to Denver it does, I think. And then it's another 4 hours through the mountains, but it's pretty neat. Me and Ian have been going out there about once or twice a year for the last couple of years. Oh, I would love to move out there, but Tracy would never move out there. Get this is funny. She is highly allergic to marijuana. Her birthday is April 20th. Now, if anybody knows anything about marijuana, pot smoking, the numbers 420 represents, I guess, either the time or the date that you go out and you smoke marijuana. So her birthday is on 420, April 20th, and she is highly allergic to marijuana. So, since Colorado has legalized marijuana, she is like, I am not going out there. So, I don't know what she's going to do once Indiana legalizes it, but I'm sure the other states will eventually follow. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe once Indiana does, she will go out there. But until then, I'll continue to visit once or twice a year. I love it out there. I love the mountains. I love the Rocky Mountains. Grew up, Mom and Dad used to take us out there skiing, visiting family. And with my job, with the way I work, I could pretty much work from anywhere as long as I have a laptop and an internet connection. I've been truly blessed with my work, and that's what allowed me to continue to work while Tracy was up in Goshen in the hospital for all those times. So anyway, I'm gonna hop off here, getting close to the clients. So Tuesday, I did went ahead and uploaded a video this morning because I went to sleep. The last time I looked at the clock, it was after 1 o'clock. Had a hard time falling asleep. I was trying to cram doing tests on this credit card stuff, and set my alarm. I went to bed, and the last time I looked, it was 1 something, and I went ahead and set my alarm for 5, and then set another alarm for 5:10. I didn't hear anything until 6:20, so I was kind of rushing around. I wasn't going to make a video, so I have several videos from a couple weeks ago that I haven't uploaded yet. So I went ahead and uploaded a Tuesday video from a couple weeks ago, and so that's why that video's there. But I'll probably go ahead and upload this video. I know I've got a couple people watching, mostly family. But anyway, I only do this really, like I said, my whole goal on these videos is IME, to inspire, to motivate, to educate, and to entertain. I don't know if I do any of those, but hey, it's kind of a form of therapy for me, just to talk into a camera. I can do that, or I can pay a shrink or a counselor $100 an hour to talk to them, to talk to somebody that probably really don't even care about my problems or anything. So hey, this is a free way to get counseling, and figured I'd share it with everybody else. Anyway, Have a good Tuesday. Just keep on keeping on.